Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Got some iced tea here, and I've got a new podcast. Ticker symbol U, my guy Alex. I've been talking with this guy for the past couple months. We both have a pretty dope vibe together. We're exploring a new space where we are going to create content together. The podcast name is called The Catalyst, and it will be distributed on his channel, and we'll have some clips of that content on my channel from time to time. Look, what are we trying to do here? The Catalyst is trying to be what Breaking Points is in the politics world. So if anyone watches Breaking Points, and if you don't, I highly recommend checking it out. Crystal and Saga are the co-hosts, and what they do is they try to take stuff that's happening in their world, which is politics and sort of the mainstream media stuff, and try to tackle it from an interesting perspective that is philosophical, that is pragmatic, that's just not always ideological like CNN and Fox. And what me and Alex are trying to do is say, all right, there's a world of stocks, business, tech, finance, all this stuff. Can we actually cover it in a meaningful way, right? Can we not just make clickbait videos? Can we not just box ourselves in of talking about one thing? Can we actually say, here's what's going on in the world, here's how we can attack it from a philosophical and pragmatic perspective, and really try to give some deep analysis here so it's an enjoyable listen, obviously with some humor and some entertainment as well, every single week. And I think the overall goal, what we're trying to go for, is like a Lex Fridman of finance. That would be really cool. Lex Fridman is this guy that has very hyper-specific technical discussions from a philosophical perspective with some really dope people. And that's what me and Alex are trying to do. That's the vibe we're trying to create. I can't guarantee it's going to be perfect yet. It's going to take a couple of episodes for us to really get the vibe, get the chemistry going. But I'm excited for it because I think, me and him are able to speak on these topics in a really interesting way. People follow me, I think, a little bit more for the personality and the stuff that I bring to the finance content. And people follow him for like the truly amazing deep dives. It takes like a week to make one video because he just goes all in on it. So I think putting those forces together can result in a catalyst for something new, which is why the podcast is called The Catalyst. Now, also, Alex is much more important than me in the real world, and he has some very cool connections to really cool guests. So we have some CEOs of some public companies coming up, some CEOs of some equity funds, some like really dope people that we're going to talk to and break down stuff, some people that have bet big on like Snapchat and Tesla. And we want to get people and really ask them about their conviction around certain things and have them give the true deep dive analysis that finance junkies and stock market junkies care about. But we also want to have some entertainment and humor and cover like Elon Musk being sued for $250 billion because he pumped Dogecoin, right? So there's going to be a variety of perspectives on this podcast. This clip you're about to see is a clip we did from our first podcast. It's on his channel. I'll link it in the description. And it was the last 2-year bull run, fake or kind of 14-year bull run that we've been having since 2008, and what does it ultimately mean for the future of stocks and the trajectory of the market over the next couple of years. So thank you guys for giving it a chance, checking it out. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's on Alex's channel. You guys can watch the whole thing. And yeah, this is one episode of many of The Catalyst launching between me and Alex. Someone called us the double aces, and me and Alex. I think that's a cool name as well. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you on the next one. Last topic for today is the past 2-year bull market. I have a very simple question. Was it fake or was it not fake? We know there was a global pandemic. We know the Fed pumped in a couple $5-6 trillion of liquidity in the market to make sure that asset prices didn't quite literally collapse. We know we overstimulated the economy to some extent by printing trillions of dollars. And now all of that's gone. Now we're doing quantitative tightening. Now interest rates are going up. Interest rates were zero for the past 3-5 years. Does that mean that assets like Tesla and all these other crazy stocks that went bonkers only did so on the back of the Fed, or was there actual company growth that justified that level of premium on an asset? Do you think all those stocks are going to go right back to normal like they were in 2019?
So I think it was fake in the sense that it was stimulated by something that wouldn't normally occur in the markets, right? It's not every day that the Fed pumps trillions of dollars into the economy, and so much of that makes its way into the market. And one thing I actually learned as I was sort of researching this angle as well is it's not just the last 2 years. The Fed's actually been quantitative easing since 2008. So it's really a 14-year massive bull run. So depending on how much they tighten and how much they actually raise rates and what inflation does, there's a lot of variables here. But it could be that we see valuations return to something like they were somewhere closer to 2008, maybe 2012, 13, 14, if they take out the right amount of money to get it there and keep raising interest rates even higher than they suspect they have to now. And that points more towards not just how crazy valuations gotten, but what that means for like the actual strength of the dollar, right? Because we're buying stocks in units of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, earnings. We'll see what happens with companies, but I mean, Tesla's earnings have been phenomenal the past couple of years. So have Apple.
Totally.
So have some
Totally.
of the other, but it's, I mean, even Zoom, they're doing $1 billion in revenue a quarter. Like, it's insane. But it was $500 Zoom in particular during the pandemic, and now it's back to $100. So, like, I guess the question is, was that 500 just purely based upon the quantitative easing? I think the answer definitely is yes, and obviously a lot of hype. Things have gotten back down to normal. But if the companies can keep crushing earnings, I think that's when like the market's got to recognize something of value. Like if Palantir grows at 60% or something a year, like you can't keep a stock depressed that long. But if the whole reason the stocks were going up, even with phenomenal earnings, was because of this quantitative easing stuff, and that's gone, then who knows?
Sure, yeah. And like one thing I want to point out is it's not just like, okay, the Fed is printing trillions of dollars, therefore assets all inflate. So what actually happens is when money is very cheap and easy to get, you can take bigger bets longer into the future, right? So when we speculate on the value of a stock, all of a sudden it's 2023 or 2024 value. We're willing to pay a premium for where we think it'll be in 2028. We're pricing in way more growth because that growth seems easier to attain. As money gets tighter, you need to shrink the window that you're willing to make concrete bets on. And as a result, companies that are, you think have this hyperbolic growth, you can't talk about year 4 and 5 anymore. We're looking at 1, 2, and 3 years out. And what we're finding is the increasing cost of money and the decreasing power of money. Many of these companies are still not yet profitable and therefore might not have enough cash to even last to years 4, 5, and 6, right? When money was cheap, that didn't matter. Now that we're seeing that change, the actual math around valuations have changed.
And then if a recession happens and consumers aren't spending that much, then the earnings of every company is going to suffer.
That's right.
Along with quantitative tightening. So it's a really interesting world we're in because, as you said, for the past 14 years, we've been having something like this happen. Now interest rates are finally going up. The cost of acquiring money is more expensive. Quantitative tightening is happening. No Fed bailout this time because inflation is at 8%. So the next 18 months are going to be interesting. Either it's going to be sort of stagflation, which is what Ray Dalio is saying what's happening, or earnings are going to be so phenomenal we break past this and inflation is going to go down, or it keeps going worse for us. And we will be covering all of that on The Catalyst over the next couple of months.
That's right.
All right, that's it for us. Episode 1 of The Catalyst. We hope you guys enjoyed. This is still experimental. Give us your raw thoughts. What do you think? Constructive criticism. We're all open to that. We want to keep this going for a very, very long time. Have a lot of interesting guests coming up. So looking forward to your feedback. Looking forward to what you guys think.
I'm excited for it, man. I think it's going to be a really good discussion and a really good time. Let us know in the comments below with your thoughts.
We are going to become the Lex Friedman of financing. Bye-bye.
It's happening.